We're here at the 2018 Pacificon Swap Meet, and here we are with Norm N6JV. Look at all these tubes.
The valves.
Valves. So, Norm, could you tell us a little bit about these tubes?
Well, this is just some traveling display of things I bring out to swap meets just so people look at them. I'm a member of the Tube Collectors Association. I'm a director and the webmaster.
Oh, wait a minute, let me slow you down. You say there's an actual Tube Collectors Association.
Yes, we're a worldwide organization.
And you are a member of that.
Yeah, I'm
so
a director.
Are you displaying these tubes today?
Just so people who like tubes.
So you're just here showing us. You're not selling tubes.
I may have some tubes around, but I have sockets.
Okay. But this display is just for our benefit.
Yeah.
So you could share this information and this history with the other ham radio operators. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Go to my website, N6JV.com. There they have all individual pictures of about 1,200 of the tubes in the collection. This is a water-cooled tube that sits down in a water bucket. This was made in the 1940s. Water is down here circulating. This is an audio driver tube out of Voice of America.
Oh, so which Voice of America here in California?
Well, they made several of them. They used them here also, but this one actually came out of Ohio.
Oh, okay.
The big tube is a 750T. That is one of the largest, highest, biggest size for the envelope. They made this same general envelope up to 2,000 watts. That original tube was made in the late 1930s, and they were still manufactured in the 60s.
So let me ask the ham question. How many volts you got to put on the plate to get that guy to work correctly?
Anything between 2,000 and 10,000.
Up to 10,000. You hear that, guys? Up to 10,000 volts on the plate on that big giant tube. Be very, very careful.
Back in the old days when all the little small towns in California had their own AM broadcast station, they had to turn the power down to 200 watts, 100 watts a night, and 500 in the day. This was the common tube that was used in those small RCA transmitters.
What is that tube called?
It's called an 833A.
Okay.
Yes.
833 transmitting tube for the small AM broadcast stations from years ago.
They're still being used today. Very popular among audio people that like to make hi-fi amplifiers. So these are in demand.
Very good.
The Silicon Valley kind of started out with iMac, Itel McAuliffe in the South Peninsula. This is one of their first tubes from 1934. They made that one and a tube of this side called a 50T. This is a 150T. This is a 50T. This is a 1934.
Great.
And this started out the company. So they were making tubes, up to the million watters. We have one tube that is a 1.5 million watt dissipation tube in the collection.
It's a whole lot of power. Well, Norm, I really, really appreciate you allowing us to speak with you and put you on our ham radio TV channel. And by the way, thank you for taking the time to do this display and bring it out here and sharing it with all the other ham radio operators.
We like to sit around and tell tube stories. So
tube stories?
But every tube has its own story. I was telling you, the only one of the few that's as old as me is like this tube. This is a Telefunken German tube from World War II. I know it because it says 44, the year I was born, 1944. It was made for the Wehrmacht, and it was inspected for use in the Luftwaffe.
Wow.
You can tell that by the markings on the tube.
Very interesting.
They made very nice tubes, and sometimes their sockets and things were more elaborate than what we use, simply because they built everything, when they having mobile equipment and stuff like that. They were always on the move. So
application-specific designs.
Very much so.
Very much so.
They over-engineered everything.
Very good. Well, Norm, thank you for your time. We're going to move on and talk to Dave over here a little bit. So we're standing right here with Dave, WZ6X, and he's got some kind of radio system here on a backpack, and I'm going to quit talking, and we're going to ask Dave if he wouldn't mind sharing with us what this is and how it works, because I have seen him at least 3 or 4 other swap meets talking on this device. So Dave, I'm going to assume that this works.
Yes, this is it's really a military HF radio.
That's true, yeah.
So it goes. It can go upper lower sideband and AM and CW, and it covers 75 meter all the way up to 10 meters. So
it's
right now
coverage.
I'm listening to 75 meter that I talk to my friend in Santa Maria every morning. So they are talking on it. Right
they're
now.
talking?
Yeah. You hear them?
Yeah, yes, I do.
Yeah. But they're in Santa Maria, so...
I'm listening to, see if you guys, our viewers can hear. It's kind of hard to hear. There it is. All right. That was a 75 meter contact that Dave's friends down in Santa Maria on his portable military style HF radio that goes from about 3 megahertz to about 30 megahertz.
Yeah.
And most likely is continuous coverage.
Yeah, it's a continuous. And here's a World War II first handy talkie made by Motorola.
Oh, wow.
In 1942.
And what band is that, Dave?
This cover, the 75 meter is 3885 AM.
Wow.
And it's about 300 milliwatt. At the time, you can talk to somebody about a mile away.
Wow.
And then you can call from the ship about 3 miles from the ship.
Wow.
And it still works.
Is this the radio we're watching the old movies where John Wayne and those guys are in the out there on the
foxhole,
and they're calling back? That's the radio.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? 300 milliwatts with a range from radio to radio of approximately a mile. And then from radio back to the ship about 4 miles?
3 miles.
3 miles. Wow.
But at the time it's high tech.
And you know what? That's a little bit bigger than the bow fangs we have.
No.
Just a little bit.
This is kind of like the original cell phone. Remember 1970s and the cell phone? It's a little smaller, but it's similar looking size. And they don't make battery anymore. So when you go to Glasgow, you buy 9-book battery.
Holy smokes!
10 of them together.
Look at that.
90 volt for the plate.
Wow. That looks a little expensive, huh?
The battery heavier than the handy talkie.
Very good. Well, Dave, we appreciate you taking time to talk to us today. You'll be on Ham Radio TV, and a lot of other people will be able to watch and enjoy looking at your HF radio. And if any of you guys and gals ever want to come to the swap meets here in Northern California, there's a great possibility that you'll run into Dave.
That's right. I go to all the ham fairs.
I know.
Seaside, Oregon.
I have seen Dave for at least 3 or 4 years in a row at every place I've been.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dave.
Okay,
we
thank
appreciate
you.